During the operation of the fort, the traders had nothing but the goods and personal items needed for day-to-day existence. These small rooms are designed to hold 3 to 5 people. The items making up the bedroll of the trader was a buffalo hide or an oilcloth, with resistance to infiltrating cold and moisture as the outer layer. 1 or 2 blankets were rolled into a ground cloth. Personal items such as a change of clothing were also rolled into the bundle. Any small, personally owned trade goods would have been carried in panniers and used as pillows when asleep on the ground for security of the items. The bunk beds in these rooms were not here during the operation of the fort. Small room, plus 3 people, plus a small fireplace, and thick adobe walls meant people could exist here on the coldest day of the year in relative comfort. Lancaster Lupton lost his interest in the fort in 1842 as an after effect of the credit crunch caused by President Andrew Jackson when he ordered removal of all of the United States funds from the national banks and deposited those funds in the states' banks. Jackson felt that the national banks had too much power. Other factors were the introduction of pox-ridden blankets on the upper Missouri and the different tribes fighting among themselves, causing the production of buffalo robes to drop. Lancaster was kept on as bourgeois when Albert Wilson and his brother took over the operation of the fort. It was refurbished and offered to the Army for purchase as a ready-made post. The Army determined it was not on any important trail and rejected the purchase. Wilson ordered the fort abandoned in 1844. The trade goods were sold or shipped back to Fort Leavenworth. The gates were opened and everyone left. Lancaster had no family fortune to fall back on. Lancaster, Tomas, and the 3 boys moved to Hardscrabble near Bent's Fort and Pueblo. Lancaster took Tomas and the children to her Cheyenne relatives, traded his tools for horses for Tomas to use while he went to Wisconsin to visit his family. His family had moved from New York to Wisconsin to buy farmland at $1.25 an acre and become farmers. When Lancaster returned to Hardscrabble, he learned that the animals for Tomas were not delivered, and he took his tools back. Lancaster applied to become the Indian agent for the Cheyenne twice. He was turned down both times. He farmed in the area. He had corn milled into flour, sold the flour on the Oregon-California Trail along the North Platte. He worked for William Bent and Sarah and St. Vrain as wagon master in 1846. By 1849, Lancaster, Tomas, and the 3 sons moved to Acadia, California, where Lancaster farmed, operated orchards, and freighted goods. Lancaster and Tomas are buried in Blue Lake, California, with full honors of his service in the Dragoons. Thank you for your interest in Fort Lancaster and the people who lived here. Please continue the tour outside the fort by visiting the Trapper's Cabin, the one-room independent school, and the Donaldson House built after the flood of 1864.